she planned on getting the item, wearing it, and then returning it the next day, which is really fucked up. Like, am I going to be able to continue to be a full-time reseller? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I will be doing a recap of December. I had a terrible month, but let's just jump in. All right, so if you're new here, I like to do this recap at the end of every month. December is the close of the year, so I did all my books and all the things. I actually did great collectively for the year, but December was just not that good. So I want to go over my numbers as far as my gross, my net. I'm going to talk about how many items sold, my cost of goods for that month for the items. I'm also going to show you guys my top 20 for the month as well, and that's pretty much it. Oh wait, and I'm going to talk about like each platform and if they did well, if they didn't, like what changed, all those things. So if you might be interested, please stay tuned. So of course I'm going to start with my top 20 sales. The very first thing is this lip service blouse. I think this really could have been a dress if I'm being honest, but we won't talk about that. I found this earlier in the year and this one took forever to sell. Definitely like what, 9-10 months. So yeah, definitely a Bolo brand lip service. This was a Y2K piece, so it did add a little bit more value. I ended up having to bring the price down because I definitely overpriced this. I think I priced it close to $200, and yeah, dropped the price down and it actually sold, so we love that. The next one is this new to me brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂, I want to say. This one was actually new with tags, found this at the bins, and then I actually accepted an offer lower than what I wanted. It's just that, you know, sales were so slow that I was just like, I can't just see this $90 get out my view. So ended up countering at 90 and I was so happy she accepted. So yeah, pretty good flip. The next one is actually this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊𝕂 little girl's like dress overall situation. Ashley from Restyle by Ash actually talked about vintage kids pieces doing amazing, and I saw this one at the bins and I'm like, oh, let me just take a little Google lens, and I noticed that people were pricing theirs really high, so I'm like, bet, so I'm gonna take it home. I try to make sure I price mine in a really good sweet spot. I don't typically like to like go crazy anymore with my pricing just because it will sit forever. This one I think maybe took 3 months to sell. So a little girl's overalls dress selling for $70 is just mind-blowing. So yeah, if you see vintage 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊𝕂 specifically, look into it because it goes for a lot. You can just literally go and check comps on vintage 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕂 kids clothing and you'll be amazed, because I definitely was. The next one was a new to me brand called Suit Supply. I was lucky enough to find this at the bins, and it was new with tags, so this one did perform amazing. I don't know if I could have got more, but this is definitely in the window of the amount that it was selling for. So yeah, pretty good flip. This one also was a great pickup. This is a brand that I feel like I've never picked up, but I feel like I come across a lot of like Texas items. I mean, I do live in Texas, but this was specifically for Dallas, Texas on the label, and it was Persian lamb's wool, which is extremely soft. Let me know if you've ever felt Persian lamb wool. Yeah, it's soft. So I priced this one high, and I kind of really wanted to stay in the realm of like $60 to $80, but I was running a sale on eBay because it was really slow. So this one selling for $56 is not bad. I got it from the bin, so it just, you know, worked out. This one also was a bins pickup. I was pretty shocked that nobody picked this up, but this is just a vintage Snoopy sweater. Again, I Google lensed this just to kind of see what decade it was from. It was made in USA, so I knew that I was going to price this one high, and I did. I think I saw one that sold for $50, so I'm like, okay, I know I want to get that for it, so I priced it up, and I think my boss sent them an offer. They accepted, so we made that really good sale. This is Sundance. I was so disappointed with this sale. This one took definitely like 9 months to sell. I think I sourced this in like February, and well, I guess I can't do the math because that was not 9 months. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, this one finally sold. They sent me a $50 offer. It was relisted and relisted and relisted, and then nobody bought it. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and accept a 50, because 50 is still good. It's just not 70 or 80, but you know, we got to get it out the door. This was a Lululemon's scuba jacket. I actually got this from ThredUp with a credit that I had, and I never grabbed it, and the color just looked a little odd, so I just ended up listing it because I just felt like somebody else would love this and not me. This is a Banana Republic women's blazer jacket. This one was still being sold on their website, so I knew that I was going to get a good amount for it, so I did price it higher, and it was like a size 16, I want to say. So the fact that it was still on their website, a really good style, and it was a good size, I knew that I'd be getting a decent amount for it. This one also sold with the 25% off on eBay, so they got a pretty good deal. This is 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. Sourced this at the bins as well. This was, wow, this does not look like the same top. What the hell? That is definitely not the same top. Okay, anyways, they didn't put in a return request. That is so weird. The cut of the neckline looks completely different. I don't know how I missed that, but anyways, I picked this up, and I feel like when I found it, I'm like, I know I heard this brand before, but I couldn't pinpoint it, so I still took it anyways. And then when I checked very quick comps, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a good brand. So that one was a decent flip, $45. They sent me an offer, and I thought it was very modest, so I'm like, yeah, $45, it's yours. This is another men's pickup, 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. Must have heard this through a reseller online, one of the male resellers that I follow. So I picked it up, and I can't remember when I actually like sourced this one. I know I sourced it at the bins, but I can't remember, so I don't know how long that one took to sell. These are a pair of Brooks Brothers trouser pants. Now the thing about these is that it was Loro Piana fabric, and Loro Piana fabric is like a really great bolo. They're a really great brand, and it's very expensive, but they do make fabric for like lower tier brands, and that adds value to that brand. So if you see the Loro Piana fabric tag on a shit brand, still pick it up, because it's going to perform well. Make sure you actually tag it Loro Piana fabric, well, not fabric, but Loro Piana in the title, and it'll pull the right buyer for it. These are a pair of Mother jeans. I actually found these earlier in the year as well, and I remember sourcing them on a reseller vlog, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't even need to check comps, it's Mother, da-da-da. I know I got them on a half off day at the Salvation Army, and at the time, for me, a year ago, Mother was just like one of those brands you can just pick up. You don't even need to check comps because it's gonna sell. But this is a great colorway, and it's like a low rise, so like I really wasn't thinking. So when they sent me a $40 offer, I was like, hell yes. They could have sent me a $20 offer, I probably would have accepted it just to get it out there. These are some Faraday pants. Hopefully I said that right. Somebody gonna clock me in the comments. I picked these up at the bins, and I have been saying like Faraday is like declining, but I think what it is that I'm so used to it flipping within like a couple of weeks, that when it sits for the designated, you know, 90 days, or you know, maybe 30 to 90, I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? But 90 days is a really good time frame for an item to sell. But I feel like when you do volume, you think everything is supposed to be in and out, in and out, in and out really quickly. So that was like, you know, my mindset, because I do price my items lower so they can get out the door quicker, you know. But yeah, this was a pretty good flip. I would pick it up again. Definitely much more substantial, because I think I have like 4 pairs of shorts that just will not sell. So I'm gonna see, because I might can pull them and sell them to a buy sell trade store. I don't know, because I don't think they're interested in like older men bolos. Anyways, this one is a vintage Morgan Taylor slip dress robe combo. I was so happy when I found the slip dress, because I thought it was so stinking cute, but then when I found the robe, I'm like, even better. It had like this jacquard print to it as well, so not only was it just beautiful on its own, and then it had that imprint on it just made it even better. This one did, you know, go for a little bit lower than I would have liked, but of course I had to run that 25% off sale because your girl sales was slow. So that was a good flip. This was a new to me brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂. I think I definitely could have got at the very least about like $45 to $50 for this, but I didn't want to sit on it. The tag looked like it was worth looking into. I looked into it. The brand was doing well. I would definitely consider this a bolo for sure, because the attention it got on all platforms was great. So if you see 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂, definitely pick it up. But yeah, this was a good flip. This is a Vans puffer. I remember sourcing this like in the spring of last year, and then I let it, you know, sit in my winter pile, and I finally listed it, and I was really happy that it sold, because you already know how these heavy coats are. Y'all just really want to get them out the door, and this one did sell, so we love that. I think my bot sent her an offer. Again, I didn't price it that high. I just wanted to make sure that I can get the price point that I wanted, which was $30, and that's what I got for that one. Well, it sold for $38, but I made $30 on it. This is Soft Surroundings. This is that velvet burnout, and yeah, was really happy with this sale. Somebody tried to offer me $20 on eBay. I think I had it priced at like 29 something, and I sent them an offer of 25, I want to say roughly, and they was like, could you do 20? And I'm like, no. Like, what's wrong with people? So this one sold for my full asking price of $38 on Poshmark. So that's why I feel like, yeah, you don't want to lose the sale, but if you know what you have, you know what you have, okay? So yeah, anyways, this one is a vintage slip dress. This one had a really cute cutout, and the fact that it was a maxi, even better. And it was vintage, it was nylon, it had all the bells and whistles. So this is definitely a really good pickup, and it looks like I used some good keywords like cottagecore and fairy, so we love that. All right, the last thing that was in my top 20 was this vintage 1970s skirt. The only reason why I know it was 1970s is I Google lensed it, and I saw an Etsy shop that actually sold this one. So I actually priced this one much higher than I typically would. And I probably could have priced it higher, but I didn't because I really wanted it to like sell and get out the door. So this one sold for $38. They sent me an offer for $38. I accepted it. I did get it from the bin, so I didn't mind it. Right, and those are my top 20 sales for the month of December. And now we're about to talk about all the fun stuff. So my gross profit actually was the worst that I had for the whole year. Actually, no, it wasn't. Excuse me, I spoke too soon. Of course, at the beginning of the year, I actually started listing more items, so my gross was lower than this number. So it wasn't until March. So January and February, my gross was less than this, which was still really high for me at the time. Anyways, let's jump in. My gross profit was $5,167.81, and I made a net profit of $3,976.70. I did have 185 total sales, which is bad. Y'all know I literally linger around the 230 mark. So 185 is terrible. My cost of goods for all of the items that sold for December was $260.16. I did spend $505.44 for the whole month of my, you know, cost of goods, which was actually really good. So that's, I guess that's a good thing for December, that my cost of goods was around the 500 mark. And then as far as refunds and returns, I had a total of 7 across Poshmark and eBay. As far as Poshmark, I had 1 canceled order. I was so mad, y'all. It was a full asking price sale. She literally canceled it within like 10 minutes. I was so angry. It was a pair of Lucky brand like sweatpants. And then I had a mix-up where I sent a buyer the wrong item, so I lost out on that money. So that item came back, and then I had a case open for a sweatshirt. Honestly, I think she literally was just like, what can I do to get my money back? Because, girl, really? But I just was like, I'm not even gonna fight it. I think I didn't even say anything in the case. They just approved it. So I'm just like, okay. And then as far as eBay, I got 4 returns. One was this theory dress. Like I told y'all, December was a crazy month for me. Just kind of having the worst month that I've had since I started the year. And then with just like regular life stressors and all of that going on in the background, and just being overwhelmed with just my inventory, like with everything going on. This particular buyer, I think I had talked about it, but she ended up asking me to ship the item. First, she wanted it priority because she was trying to get it before Christmas. So of course I was like, okay, no problem, you'd have to choose that at checkout. So then she bought it immediately because she already lowballed me. She sent me a super lowball offer, but I accepted it because it was slow. So I ended up printing out the label. I noticed that it was Ground Advantage and not the priority that she was trying to get. And that kind of annoyed me, because if you told me like, hey, could you send this priority? And then I tell you, hey, you have to choose that at checkout. You get to checkout, you don't choose it. And then once, you know, it's paid for, I tell you, you know, you were supposed to choose it at checkout. That's not even the problem. The item gets to her on December 21st, okay? December 21st, the item gets to her. December 26th at like 8 in the morning, she puts in a return request. Now, what pissed me off about this is that this was a theory dress. It was new with tags. So the way that they had the tag, that's why I hate brands that put the tag inside the neckline. She just probably tucked the tag, wore it for Christmas, got it stained up, and then took some photos and was like, hey, this is, you know, not as described. So getting back to what I was trying to say was, I actually said something. I didn't like that. If she would have just been like, hey, this item didn't fit, whatever the case, I would have still been annoyed, but I would have been less annoyed, because you try to say that these weren't disclosed, but you had this item for 5 days. So you wore it for Christmas, and then you turn around the next day and try to say, hey, item is not as described. Why didn't you say that on the 21st or the 22nd or the 23rd or the 24th, or hell, even on Christmas? You didn't, because you planned on getting the item, wearing it, and then returning it the next day, which is really fucked up. But anyways, I went on in the messages and I said, I'll pop it on the screen. I actually said something. She never responded. The item still has not been tracked for like it being shipped back, because she could have just been like, hey, item didn't fit, I didn't like it, and she could have paid for a return, because I'm like, I'll sell it again. But the fact that you lied about it so you can get like a full refund is crazy work. But anyways, the next one was this Alfred Sunner or Dunner, whatever dress. I was pretty annoyed with this one because I was so happy that it sold, because I'd had it for over 9 months. Absolutely would not pick it up again. I'm thinking of not even relisting it, or if I do list it, I'm gonna list it low. She said it didn't fit, but she did use the right avenues, because I do accept returns, but buyer is going to pay the return. And then I had a gentle fawn top. She said it didn't fit, literally had measurements in the listing, and she said it didn't fit. So it is what it is. And then the last thing on eBay was actually a blazer that was returned. He said it was too big, and I went and looked at my listing. I did not provide any measurements. I think at this time when I listed this, it was earlier in the year, and I just assumed like, okay, because that's what I typically do, I'll be honest, when it comes to men's items where they already have like the size on there, I just leave it alone. So like the blazer had a 44L, so if they know that they are a 44L, that's what the item is, which is not a good thing. Like, it's still good to do measurements on those items. So yeah, those were all of my returns, and I was just like so annoyed. Like, it's something about having life stressors on the back end, and then you're already having a slow month, and then you're dealing with returns and stuff. Like, it's just like, girl, give me a fucking break, okay? But anyways, so as far as like the summary of the platform, Poshmark quite literally died. The first week was not good. The second week was amazing. I think I definitely had to reach like a record-breaking number. I think I made $2,000 that week, if not more. And then the third and fourth week, complete trash, absolute trash. And it was making me question, am I going to be able to do this? Like, am I going to be able to continue to be a full-time reseller? Because this is just not cool. So that was scary. And I by the time this video come out, I think the vlog have already been out. But I've been having an issue with my Poshmark bot. So I don't know if that also has something to do with it, or if it just was the holidays and it was just slow for everybody. So that was something that I was second guessing too, because I'm just kind of like, how did everything, you know, be so amazing the second week in December and then it just done, you know? But anyways, as far as eBay, everything was, I feel like before I started the sale, it was also trending to decline, but when I started the sale on eBay, I feel like that helped zhuzh up business and kind of pushed me back up to where I needed to be, which was just the normal aspect, because I only make about 80 to 90 sales on eBay on a good month. A perfect month, which was July, I think I made like 130 sales. So wish I can get back to that, but not July, I meant June. But anyways, as far as Mercari, it was much slower. I went and looked at the numbers of how many items actually sold on Mercari, and I'm like 10 down. So clearly Mercari also, you know, went down as well. And then as far as Depop, y'all know that the end of November my account was suspended randomly, and I thought that it was because I said, you know, well, I didn't personally say, the girl did, when I was trying to get her off of the app to go to my eBay to purchase the item. I thought that flagged the account, but it didn't. They said it was an accident. So they suspended my account on accident, refunded 2 buyers. But when I went into my Depop balance, I noticed that they put the amount for the sweater back into my account twice. So I think they refunded me that money, if that makes any sense. They had to. It just didn't make any sense. I'll pop it on the screen. Green means they're depositing, right? Because I even noticed, so I use a specific account on my Depop. I don't use my checking account. I use an account that I typically get gas with. So I like to specifically put money into that account just to get gas. So that account is empty if I don't put money in it. So when they initially tried to take that money out for that buyer, nothing was there for them to take. So, and that was when everything had happened, and that's, you know, before I sent him the lengthy email that I sent them. So yeah, I think it's kind of strange. But anyways, back to what I was trying to say. My account got like reinstated early December, and I think I didn't start listing until like the 8th or the 9th back on December, because I was still going back and forth on whether or not I even wanted to get back on the platform, because I was so angry that they put me in this predicament where they're refunding people, and I don't have a fighting chance in, you know, appealing it. So I ended up getting back on it, and I think I only made like 5 sales. I don't know how many I made. I didn't make that many, and typically I make like 7 to 10. So that is something I just, yeah. So it was a slow startup. I'm back on it. I feel like Depop is definitely the place that you absolutely have to list every single day in order to see like consistent growth. So that is something that I'm going to kind of teeter-totter with and try to see if I can just do at least 1 listing each day. I don't really have the time to sit and babysit that platform, so that's the only thing. But I'm gonna see, once I can kind of get everything back together, then I should be able to kind of like, you know, hone in on different platforms and just figure everything out, because it's too much going on all at once. I still have to move. I still gotta, you know, get my inventory system together. I still have to just kind of get everything together, because not only the inventory system needs to be together, I need to get my apps together. So like I need to go through all of my apps and comb through all of them individually and delete items that I know I do not have, because it's still happening. Like it's still happening, and I'm completely over it. Okay, but anyways, let me know down below how December was for you. Let me know how January is going for you as well, because it is like a stark difference, but I'm hoping that it continues to go well for me in January and the rest of the year. And then I also hope it continues to go well for you in January and the rest of the year, so we can just continue to prosper in our business. But I will see you on the next one. Bye.